From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carry for James Conner. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Here's a handoff to Conner. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Well, remember, these two teams met earlier in the year in Santa Clara with the Niners coming out on top. So a win here in Santa Clara would give them the season series. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On the handoff, Conner. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Mon now off of play action. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visiting Niners who won that ball game, so they'll look to make it a clean sweep here at home in Santa Clara. Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Lance finding Ayuk there for a Niner first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Second and 11 now. Faking the give to Mostert. Now Lance. They'll roll him out right. Now loose football. The ball comes out. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the Cardinals are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And there's James Conner with a run that gets everyone's attention. He joined the Arizona Cardinals after 4 years in Pittsburgh, and his best year with the Steelers, 2018, named a Pro Bowler after a 973-yard, 13-touchdown campaign. Mixed results the last couple of years as he's been in and out of the lineup, but with consistency, he can still be an effective runner.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off the play fake, Mon. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 37. A gain there of 21 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. On first down, Conner plowing ahead for about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Mond on the bootleg, staying on his feet. And now a strip. He loses the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call.
Going with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run with Connor. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They go play action here. Mon going deep for Hopkins. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play in a quick strike.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A 2nd and 11 from the 19. Lance, a handoff here to Mostert. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Deep for the Cardinals, Christian Kirk. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. 5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a A couple of things working against them, and number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
Now it's counter. Escapes the defender. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Now it's the backup Newton. Going deep for Hopkins. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it up in your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. So, Charles, you talk about this offense as we play here in Week 9 of the 2021 season. Normally, you're slipping kind of past the halfway point, but now with the season expanding to 17 games, you kind of think the teams might look up and say, gosh, we still have a lot of football left to go.
No doubt about it. Remember, they've had their open week already, so this could be a straight shot all the way from here on out. To me, the best coaches, they tell their teams, hey, I'll take care of you during the week. You just leave it all out there on game day, and I'll make sure you're ready for the next one.
He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And there are really very few... Fullbacks in the NFL today that get used as weapons in the passing game. But Kyle Juszczyk, definitely one of them. Part of the reason he's been a Pro Bowler 5 years in a row.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Newton. Flush, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Nick Bosa so quick on the outside, he gets in there to bring him down. '49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down. Now Newton. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Garoppolo. That's complete out left to Ayuk. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Mostert. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
On second down, Mostert, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 38, Lance. Room to run past midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. To throw, it's Lance. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be a second down.
Good call there on first down, and Brandon, I'm getting better over the years at not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
second down. Here's Mostert again. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On play action, Lance rolling to his right. This will be caught at Samuel. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And the 49ers are going to have a first and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for first and goal. Mostert. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
They'll give to the big fullback use check. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, number 6 overall. And the Niners take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tack on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They fake the give. Newton. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Going deep for Hopkins. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamental.
Now a hit and a loose football. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing on 1st down is Lance. This to the outside, it's Sermon. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again on 2nd down, Lance. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 19. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. A handoff running left is Mostert. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Now they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. They'll run with Mostert. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Raheem Mostert, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Niners are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Gold with the extra point. It's now 21-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Newton's throw taken in by Green here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Connor. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Back to throw, Newton. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Connor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Under pressure, they got him again. Pass rusher extraordinaire, D. Ford that time, getting the sack. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. Going deep for Hopkins. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. 2nd and 8 coming up. Again, a run with Connor. 85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Max Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Prater for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. 2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Lance now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Lance, a give now to Sherman. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And it's caught. Touchdown. George Kittle, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
And this is going to be a Cardinals first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Off play action. Newton. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Nick Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
Another try after the first down sack. Newton, he's going to let it fly.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the 49ers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Running the counter with Mostert.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. So the victory here for San Francisco. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that.